This Friday, Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan are back to switch things up in Disney's Freakier Friday.
OMG, yes.
It's an absolute riot, and the only movie that can be described as
So much weirder than the last time.
What last time?
it's the frequel
You ready?
we've been waiting for.
That absolutely slays.
What deeply out of touch old person came up with that?
You did.
Wow.
Don't miss the comedy event of the summer for all ages. Disney's Freakier Friday in theaters this Friday. Get tickets now. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
It's Wednesday Addams. I see you're trying to distract yourself from your own banal thoughts. Let me help. Here's a recording thing made of my latest root canal.
Wednesday, Season 2, begins August 6th, only on Netflix.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
Pie in the Sky Media. This series contains adult language and descriptions of graphic violence throughout. Listener discretion is advised.
Here we go. And we're back. 3, 2, 1. Hello, Criminal Mischief Nation. Welcome back to another bonus episode of Criminal Mischief with Carolyn and Branden. I'm the Branden of that duo, along with, as always, the great Carolyn Osorio. Hello, Carolyn.
Hello, Branden. How are you?
I am sweating and hot in Los Angeles, but it's nice. It's nice. 3 weeks till school starts here. You believe that? Summer's almost over. It's weird.
Wow, you start early, but you guys get out late, right?
August 12th is our first day.
Yeah,
And,
we go until the end of August.
Yeah, okay. So a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of flown by. It really has.
I know. I feel the same. I feel the same. My youngest, his birthday was this weekend, and he had such a great little birthday, and it was so fun. And
what is he, 10 now? 11?
11, yeah. And he for him, it's like the cake is like a really big deal. Like he likes to get all the designs, and we have these bakers who like hook us up every year. It's like a ritual that we do. And he has all of his Godzilla being sent over there and Iron Giant, and they couldn't put all of the designs on the 9-inch round, which is what I ordered. And they were like, we just are going to give you like a half a sheet because we love you.
Wow.
And so we have all this freaking cake.
Oh,
and it's like,
leftover birthday cake is awesome.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So he had a really good time, and it was great. It's just, you get it, like when your kids are just having fun and his little friends come over, and we have the same issue that your family has, where I've got 3 kids whose birthdays fall in summer months. And so it's like nobody's around, and it's really sad. And it's just kind of like, we never were smart enough to say, hey, let's do their birthday before.
We just figured that out this year.
No, I'm going to steal that for next year. In fact, I told
Yeah, but you know what? You'll get screwed on it just like I got screwed on it, because you just wind up doing it twice.
I know. He's already like, I want to go to Korean barbecue for my actual birthday.
So that's what we did. That's what we did. So we had birthday parties for my kids in late June, before everyone started leaving for vacation. Okay. And then their birthdays roll around in July, and we got to do it like stuff again. Well, some people aren't down. Let's have a party. But we already did this. Why am I having to double dip? And my youngest is like, I want 9 of my friends to go to Korean barbecue. I'm like, good for you. But then we wind up with, next thing I know, I'm at a Korean barbecue place. I mean, it's just.
That is too funny.
Gayukaku. Do you have Gayukakus up there?
No, this is something else, but it's really good.
It's delicious.
I know.
But I got scammed.
You know what? Every parent gets scammed. But anyway, it was the joy on his face was amazing, and he had all his little buddies around, and so it was cool.
You see this? I'm pointing to a bandaged left pointer finger right at the first knuckle. Or is that the second knuckle? The lowest, the knuckle closest to my hand. So you know that saying that dull knives are dangerous, more dangerous than sharp knives?
I don't think that's how the saying goes. Is there
Oh,
an actual saying? I think that's
there
just a
is.
reality.
Chefs will tell you that dull knives are really dangerous
No,
because
I think they are.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, for several reasons. And I figured out a reason last night. Uh, is that if you're used to dull knives, which apparently every knife in my kitchen is like basically a block of fucking wood, because I went over to my brother-in-law's house that we were making tacos, and my daughter Frankie says, "Hey, Dad, I'd like cut up an avocado for me." So I go, "Oh, okay." And so I take one of the knives out of his butcher block, and I have an avocado, and I go to cut it,
Oh
and it
my
was like the avocado wasn't even there. The knife
God.
just went right through it into my finger, down to the bone of my
Oh
knuckle.
my God. Are
Yeah,
you kidding?
before I even knew what happened. I'm like,
See,
"What?"
now this
It's
is
like it was a lightsaber,
oh
Carolyn,
my
like it
gosh.
wasn't a knife.
I get it because I have purposely had dull knives in my house for the last, decade because I have this thing with I don't want the kids to hurt their fingers. I don't want them to like use the
Yeah.
knives and then like so we actually like recently upgraded to all these knives that are sharp and it's like I'm scared how sharp they are. Because
That's
I'm
why
used
dull knives are dangerous. You should keep them sharp so you always assume that it's a super sharp knife and you're really careful. Because I went just like a caveman, like it was crazy. It was crazy.
well, did
But
it cut the actual avocado seed in the
no,
pit?
so it was the top third of the avocado because I start at the top and then you go around like the seed and it just went straight down. And my
Mm.
finger was just a little bit higher than
Oh my
the
God.
pit of the avocado was. And so just oh man. Happened
So
so quick. Didn't
did
even
you go to
feel it
the
at first. Yeah.
did you get stitches?
Nah, stitches. What are you talking about? I'm probably gonna go later. But
Oh, butterfly stitch.
yeah, I butterflied it,
What's
and
the
but
butterfly
it's
on
weird
there?
because it's right on the knuckle. It's right where.
No, that
But
sucks. Yeah.
anyway, keep your knives sharp, people. Keep your knives sharp. Um, Speaking of sharpest knife in the drawer, this Israel Keys guy was a
Mhm.
fucking lunatic, but
Mhm.
really
Mhm.
smart. Like really, probably one of the scariest, most methodical serial
Mhm.
killers that we've covered.
Yeah. He's
Um,
definitely, um, I don't wanna say this, like, he's a class in and of himself,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
but I don't wanna glorify him in any way, but I feel like, it's scary how capable he was,
yeah,
you know?
and just how just his willingness, his willingness to do it, his willingness
Mhm.
to do it, and then when he realized that he wasn't doing it to serve Satan, he's like, "Oh, it's just because I want to." Oh, okay,
Mhm.
cool. And that was even a more profound level of permission that he gave himself than when he had some fake deity that he was trying to serve, right?
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
mean, it's like
"Oh,
he
that's yeah,
became his own god. He felt like he was totally omnipotent and could do whatever
yeah."
he wanted and was like the way that he was like I think that that's the cockiness of his interviews with police was like I am not going to get caught because I'm smarter than you guys. You know what I
But he was
mean?
caught, and he knew that he was caught, and the way that he was talking about it so casually, like he was talking about a football game that they were at. You know, there was no remorse. There was no he wasn't like reliving it and getting fucking turned on. No, he
No,
was
he
just
was.
it
No,
didn't
he
seem
was.
like it didn't sound like it to me. He was
And
just
there
talking
was
about it like he was talking about a grocery list, you know?
no, but in some of those, yeah, but I had read um, that in some of the interviews, he did this thing where they could tell when he was reliving it in front of them because they
Mm.
interviewed him quite a few times,
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
but yeah, thankfully you didn't hear that when you were listening because that would have just been kind of like a little much, you know?
But so things that I had just never heard of someone doing before, right? Like purposely random,
Hmm.
purposely random.
Hmm.
Finding small towns with inexperienced police forces so there's not a lot of crime, going there, and in case he decides to go back, he's going to bury a kill kit in a fucking Home Depot bucket, okay? So he doesn't have to travel with weapons or anything. It'll be ready to go when he gets there. It reminded me of like a Jason Bourne type of serial killer, right? Like how Jason Bourne has like safe deposit boxes in all major cities with cash and with weapons and with passports, right? So he could go and that level of preparation.
Well,
All
I think
for a
that
random,
Bobby was just really quickly how he said that the preparation he felt was part of the excitement for him.
yeah.
That kind of like that was part of the ritual, which makes sense to me, because he really enjoyed the planning of everything. And in fact, when he was talking about the couriers, how it went, he had all these fantasies in his mind of how it was going to go. And when the husband was so like, stronger than what he thought, was trying to, he just underestimated him, and it impacted his fantasy of whatever he had planned that he'd been planning for a long time, if he had taken two people. And that was what pissed him off. You know what I mean? Because he had to kill the guy right away. And that messed with his plans.
Gosh.
Because the guy was like, hey, we haven't really seen you. You're kind of in deep, but not too deep. Just let us go. And his thing was looking at him with scorn. Do you know how much planning I put into this? Like, I'm not letting you go.
What are you kidding me? Right? Can't let you go.
Right, because most people think, yeah, we're not going to say anything. You can go. No, this is exactly what he wanted. He wanted this. And so it's like, what do you do with someone like that?
It's terrifying. And how he was 6 seconds from breaking the window to being on top of them. Wow. All right. So a crazy background, crazy childhood. One of 10. So Mormon, like just baby factory mama, right? Just here we go. We're back when it's in a time when like we need free labor for our farm, right? So let's just keep having babies, and never went to school, completely off the grid, no birth certificate, no social security. It's like frontier shit,
Yeah. And when they kept having more kids, they, the kids that were older had to start sleeping out in a tent, like in the summer months, because there was this one room cabin. It's like, talk about no TV, no, when people,
plumbing, electricity. No, I mean,
I know, but even popular culture, like he didn't know, people connect on popular culture all the time. Like, oh my gosh, this is my favorite show. This is the thing. They can't even connect with that because they don't know. They didn't grow up with the cartoons that we grew up with. They don't, you know what I mean? Just all the subtle. I mean, there's just so many. I mean, that's just one little aspect.
But he sounded normal. He immersed himself eventually in some kind of the zeitgeist. He was around. Like he learned. Like he got a GED. Okay, so he had a basic working knowledge of like rudimentary intellectualism, right? Like he knew obviously how to read. He was very bright. Obviously, he was very bright.
No, he was really bright.
Yeah,
very, very bright. Like, and his construction skills were amazing.
And he knew from when he was young that he wasn't like the other kids. He liked killing people and robbing houses and like killing animals and torturing shit. And so that's and having the family type of upbringing that he had. Who were they going to tell if one of his 9 siblings said, Israel's a little fucking weird. I keep finding dead cats around the house. Who are they going to tell, right? What's the procedures within that family to self-police? There probably weren't any.
No, I mean he was looked upon as the dad was gone a lot, and he was looked upon as like the man of the house when his father wasn't there. So there was a lot of pressure on him to, take care of his siblings, braid their hair, cook them dinners. He would go and hunt and bring back, elk or deer or whatever he was shooting.
How did they all survive? No modern medicine. I mean, they're basically living like hunter-gatherers.
I mean, I think that when I mean, I was thinking about that and I'm like, gosh, whenever my kids have had super high fevers, like I am like, so like really high fevers and just like laying next to them and making sure that they're okay. And to know that you don't have the medicine and then the medicine brings down the fever and you're just so grateful. I'm just
When
like,
that fever finally breaks, oh
that fever
gosh,
breaks and you're
you're
just
never
like,
happier as a parent. Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. And to purposely withhold something that could take that fever down and make your child more comfortable, just the basic, the ear infections, like so
Oh,
oftentimes,
oh,
ear infections don't even
toothache and
as
shit.
that
Yeah. Oh,
because, you have a high fever. Oh, you could have an ear infection. That means that they need antibiotics and they're going to have to ride this one out without antibiotics. I mean,
what about dentistry? Is it like go see dad in the barn? Like what is?
I couldn't believe that the father delivered all 10 children. I mean, the dad, just the two of them,
Right. No, but Israel was probably helping by the 10th baby. He was
He
probably boiling
probably
water
was
and
by
ripping
by
sheets
the
up.
fourth. I mean,
Yeah, right. Yeah,
seriously,
he's an 8-year-old
I mean,
scrubbing in.
I don't even think they were scrubbing. It's like, I mean, having 10, I guess they're just lucky there were no complications
Yeah.
because, I mean, that's a lot to do at home, you know?
Okay, I remember my first real taste of the internet, and it didn't go too smoothly. I was ignorant to the fact that posting a comment wasn't only for the person whose page I was on. In short order, I received a phone call. Hey, Branden, you know everyone on the planet can see what you wrote, right? Oops. And being Gen X, I didn't grow up online, but my kids have. I can only imagine the things they've seen and read, and that's with my wife and I keeping them on a really short digital leash and policing their devices. And still, one of my kids was subjected to a rather prolonged, kind of abusive online relationship. It's tough out there, for them and for us. That's why Gab is such a game changer. They make smartphones and watches for kids, tweens, and teens. No social media apps, no internet browser, but with GPS tracking. But hold on, it's still tech that kids want. Unlimited talk and text, along with over 100 non-social media apps that kids love, with easy-to-use parental control options and built-in content filters that add an additional layer of protection to stop harmful content before it reaches your kid. Like I said, Gab is a game changer, and I can't recommend them enough. This is the absolute best time to check them out because right now, Gab is offering $25 off any device to new customers with no contract required. That's $25 off any Gab smartphone or smartwatch. Just go to gab.com/mischief. That's where you'll get the best deal. That's Gab, GABB.com/mischief. Gab.com/mischief.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. Summertime is supposed to be an opportunity to slow down, but around this time of year, in many ways, it feels like time is moving faster. My kids are going to be starting a new grade soon. They're a little older and taller and hopefully wiser. At least that's the plan. To make sure my kids are covered over the summer when they're hanging out with their friends or participating in activities, I look to Greenlight as a way to stay connected with my kids while at the same time helping to grow their independence. Greenlight is really cool because it's a debit card and money app for families. A place where parents can keep an eye on kids' spending and money habits while kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. But there's also Greenlight's Infinity Plan, which comes with all the financial literacy education. Essentially, it's a really valuable source for millions of parents and kids. Plus, and here's the bonus, there's also built-in safety features to give you peace of mind. With Greenlight Infinity, teens can check in without actually needing to check in, thanks to family location sharing. And in a worst-case scenario, they can also call for help when they need it, with SOS alerts that connect them to family members, 911, or both. There's even a feature that detects car crashes and will connect your young drivers to 911 dispatch and alert emergency contacts if needed. So no matter which features make the most sense for your household, Greenlight is the easy, convenient way for parents to raise financially smart kids and for families to navigate life together. Sign up for Greenlight today and get your first month free when you go to greenlight.com/mischief. That's MISCHIEF. That's greenlight.com/mischief to try Greenlight for free. Greenlight.com/mischief.
Well, here's what I learned. This episode from the retired FBI guy, Bobby. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Bobby. How FBI would begin their investigations. He said there's a Venn diagram, right? And there was the first circle, which was the victim's like life, right? Like where they lived, where they worked, all their people. And then the second circle would be the region, the area where they lived. And where those circles overlap is where you start looking for your suspect. Okay. Found that really interesting. He said, except for this fucking guy.
I know.
No victimology. Completely random. You have no idea who. And he was saying it. He goes, it was almost this one guy in the yellow Volkswagen. I bet there's a guy in the who owned a yellow Volkswagen back then going, I remember running in with a newspaper over my head in the pouring rain. I was 5 seconds from death.
I know.
That's terrifying.
I mean, I think that's scary about how random this could be, and how if you see what he looks like, he's not somebody that you would think, oh, here's a serial killer. You know, I know you can't look at, I mean, these are our biases. Like, I was doing this the other day when I was, on a hike, and I saw this guy, and I was kind of like, he looks okay. And then I thought to myself, he could be a freaking Israel Keys. Like, you don't know. I mean, a serial killer could look like anybody, you know? And we have these ideas. And like, that was the most terrifying thing too, when he's like, well, were they compliant when you basically ambush them? And he's like, yeah, but they were shocked because they never think it's going to be them.
And the woman almost got away because he bought a bad batch of zip ties, right? And the woman gets away.
I know.
And he's got to tackle her. Oh, gosh. Wow. So that was, I mean, and then the basement in Vermont and where they wound up, and then how bummed out he was that the building was demolished, so they couldn't find the bodies, and he was upset that they couldn't like verify everything that he told the cops.
Well, and he wanted to see the pictures too, of their remains.
So he's in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Did he really think he was going to get away when he ran?
He almost did.
And he thought that through, and then what? And then get out of the courtroom and get out into the street, and then really make it into the clear. He was much farther away from being free than he thought.
I mean, he knew that was his one shot. I mean, I'm surprised you're not like mildly impressed that he whittled pencils with his teeth and his tongue.
I'm sure all of that's impressive. I just it was way too pie in the sky for someone that smart. I mean, even Berkowitz tried to jump out of the 7th floor window when he was convicted. Okay, like he wasn't trying to escape; he was trying to die. Israel Key sounds like he was trying to get away.
I mean, considering what a long shot it was, he got pretty far. He got to. I mean, they were sweating it like, oh my gosh, we are going to look like the biggest buffoons if we cannot keep this guy in custody, knowing, what he's capable of if he gets free. Yeah. And I think if he would have gotten free, I mean, I think Ted Bundy was like his hero. So I think that, and clearly the way that he grew up, I mean, Ted Bundy had an escape, 2 escapes. And I don't think that he had, well, I know he didn't grow up like Israel Keys, but my money would be on Israel Keys considering the way he grew up. If he went and got lost in some wilderness, like I think he would have more likely of a shot to survive than the average person,
But how often has anyone ever escaped from a courthouse with a million cops around. Right.
I
So,
mean,
but then when I was a kid, it happened in my town. Okay. There was
course.
some drifter walking through town that just by really terrible, terrible luck. No, this isn't for this. We should
The
shift
way you're
gears
setting
here.
this up is kind
No,
of
the
like
story gets very tragic.
okay.
So it was in the middle of summer.
Mhm.
Every year we have this big thing called the Fireman's Fair, where the local volunteer fire department on the firehouse grounds, they have like a carnival, like one of those shitty carny shows with like the rickety carousel and the roller coasters that collapse, that kind of shit, right? And everybody goes and it's great. And like a 12-year-old girl was walking home through the woods and didn't make it. Okay, attacked, murdered. Next day, this guy, this drifter, wanders into town, and I'm from a lily white fucking town in northern New Jersey, really close to Manhattan, really close to Newark, really close to Hoboken. But for whatever reason, in this little valley in the woods, just all European white people moved. Okay. So a black guy, a drifter walking through town, gets a lot of attention, and he gets arrested on site and accused of murdering this girl. Okay. And so he's in the police station. And then I would imagine it was a scene like from the first Rambo movie, from First Blood, where Rambo escapes from like the Hicktown jail and beats everybody up and runs out, because this guy fucking escaped. He broke loose of his fucking captor or whatever and ran through this thick plate glass window. All right. And then if you don't know my town, but if you did, it's the woods. And he just escaped into the fucking woods, and that was it, and got away. That was never caught. Was never
Well,
caught.
there you go. But first of all, do you know if he was the perpetrator?
DNA came back that it was a white guy. So
You know, this is the thing about you saying the thing about me not liking drifters, because when I said that,
you don't like drifters.
No, the way
You
I said
hate
that was because,
drifters.
no, that's not true. The way I said that, I wanted to be validated here because I said that because they're in lily white towns like yours, where you come from.
Yeah.
The drifter is always going to be the person they want to be guilty, because they don't want to believe that it's somebody in their community. They would, they really, it doesn't matter if the round peg doesn't fit in the square. No. They're going to try to shove it in there and make it fit.
That's the bad guy. Absolutely. He's different. He's not from here. He's an outsider.
Yes.
No one from here would ever do it. Although there were like 5 murderers from my town. Okay.
Exactly.
So, right. I know. No. Exactly. Yeah. And everybody kind of knows that now. So a lot of the cops were like, "Whew, glad we didn't do what we were planning on doing to that fucking guy," because it obviously wasn't him. Right. When the forensics came back.
You know what? He knew what was going to happen to him.
He did.
He knew
100%. Imagine the fear going through this guy. He goes, my dumb shit fucking luck that I wander into this hick town, right? 24 hours after a terrible murder happened. Like, what are the fucking odds for this poor guy? You know?
Yeah. So it doesn't surprise me that he was running,
fighting for his life. He knew fighting for his life.
He knew. Yep. He knew it would be if he, yeah. So
I remember, Carolyn, it was brutally hot. So probably August night. Jersey's very humid. Okay. My aunt and cousin, I think, were in town, and a bunch of us were just sitting on the front stoop, sitting on the steps, right? And maybe I've blown it up a bit in my mind a little bit, but something similar to what I'm about to tell you happened. It looked like a lynch mob walking up my street. Okay. It was like 3 uniformed cops and like 4 or 5 civilians, all armed, looking for the guy that had just broken out of the police station. Yeah.
I believe it, because when you remember, I listened to the first season of Devil Within.
Yeah.
And when they had that friend, Johnny or whoever, going to help the police officer. It's like
they sent him in first because they were scared.
That's what I'm saying. Like This ain't really a normal town here.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, Jesus Christ. So, right, that's a long way of saying that Carolyn Osorio hates drifters. But
No. So, but here's the thing: Israel Keys,
yeah,
he, and I don't want to act like he's this monster. I don't want to act like I'm just
no,
nitpicking down what actually happened. And he felt like, this is my one shot. This is the only shot I'm getting. And he gave it all that he had. And thankfully they were able to tase him and get him down. And, because if he would have escaped, who knows how long he could have lasted,
yeah. Well, no, here's something scarier. You ready?
Yeah.
According to Bobby, FBI guy, the only reason they caught him was because he broke his own rules and he chose a victim in his hometown.
Yeah.
Imagine if he had just stuck to his procedures. He could still be out there.
I
And no
think
one
that
would know.
we're right. That's why I feel like psychologically, did he want to get caught? Because he did break, or he just was the thrill of it not enough. And so he was like, I'm tired of I'm going to still do strangers, but I want to do it. I want the challenge of doing it in my backyard to see if I can get away with it, because that's how good I think I am.
Maybe, but I think you're right about wanting to get caught because he did some stupid shit like using the victim's ATM card over and over again. What does he think's going to happen? So that was really dumb. But he, no, I don't know. I don't know. Just the thought of him being able to get away with it for as long as he did, and his MO was so insanely simple and diabolical that he could have stayed out there for a long time. And he was apparently fearless. He would rob banks for the fuck of it. He would talk about robbing banks. And so he's smart. I told you the story. I used to live next door to an LA prosecutor, bank robbery division. He said, you need money, have the balls to rob a bank one time and don't be stupid and keep going back and we'll never catch you.
No,
and he knew that. And he knew that.
And
Go
he
rob a bank, make 20 grand and leave,
He planned it. He planned his stuff. I mean, clearly, look at the planning that went into it. But I think that those burglaries, all that stuff, it's all like that one cut that I played where he's like, and that woman was so scared. I could see the terror in her eyes.
Reminded me of my mom.
It
Yeah.
reminded me of my mom. I felt like there was a lot of like Freudian stuff going on.
Yeah, I still think about that all the time. Wow, that was kind of fucking weird, dude. Yeah. But then, so how did he get a razor into his jail cell?
They kept telling him, like the FBI was like, so he was at the Alaska Correctional Institute. I don't know what the name is, but and they kept saying, this guy is really dangerous. Do not give him razors. Do not give him razors to shave. And apparently they kept giving him razors to shave.
And he just took one apart and took the razor out. And
I think he like tied it to a pencil or something and like was able to. Well, what did you think? Were you surprised when he committed suicide?
No.
Were you surprised by that?
No.
Really?
No, because he wanted to die. He was begging for an execution date.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did. When the foiled escape attempt, I won't go so far as to say I'm like, he's going to kill himself. No, but when you said it, I went, oh, totally makes sense. He was done. He was done because he knew he had access to the internet. Great. You're welcome, prisoners. So he knew that the FBI couldn't keep up their end of the deal or to the extent that he wanted them to, and that his crimes were out there and being discussed, and he couldn't live with that reputation, with people knowing, with his ex-wife and his daughter and whatever, knowing what he had done. And I'm sure that was a contingency plan all along. If they'd been giving him razors, I'm sure he had it squirreled away somewhere, maybe, in his prison wallet. And
his prison wallet. What? Don't mute yourself. Don't mute yourself. What's his prison wallet?
Stop saying it. Just stop saying it. Those
Are you like, oh, you're the one that said it first.
It's from Deadpool. Didn't you see Deadpool? Deadpool 2?
You know what? I'm not into the Marvel stuff. I'm sorry if I'm sorry. What is it?
Where do you hide something on your body when you're in prison? Okay. The kid in Deadpool 2 said, I'm hiding it in my prison wallet. And Deadpool goes, don't you even think about handing that to me. So when I heard him say prison wallet, I couldn't even focus on the rest of the movie. I thought it was so funny.
And you had to bring it up here.
Well, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, where do you, but anyway, what I was getting at is that I'm sure he had the means
I
of
love
killing
how you're
himself.
trying to get all business.
No,
Okay.
he had the means of killing himself worked out in the eventuality that he was surfing the web, did a Google search for his name, and saw it. He's like, oh, there we go. Sayonara. Cut the wrist. Interesting how he strangled himself with his own foot. Right? It's like a stretch kind of thing where you just like use your own body weight, I guess. Yeah. Talk about imaginative, right?
I mean, I just think that he didn't present in a way that made those guards feel like they were threatened.
Right. No, he became friendly with them. They were giving him pencils and shit.
And I know, and you would think that if this guy is able to whittle it down with toothpicks to actually pick not only your handcuffs but
your
also
leg irons.
Your leg irons, and to have that be successful. I mean, this is not like,
right.
I mean, how many people could actually do that successfully?
People would think of it. I know. How many people would think of it? But you know what he said? You know where he learned it all? He said he read a bunch of crime novels, ton of crime novels. Mm-hmm. So he had this encyclopedic kind of knowledge of, I mean, he used them as basically as reference books.
Mm-hmm.
Crime novels.
Yeah, he did. But not only that, but I think that childhood of his where he had to be so industrious.
Yep.
They didn't have any resources. You use the resources that you have. And I feel like that is actually kind of lost a little bit where people, back in the day, there was people that could just fix anything. Like, oh, your lawnmower's broken. Oh, let me just come over here and tinker with it.
Yeah, you're looking at one of those guys.
Really?
Okay? Oh, yeah. I build stuff. I fix stuff. I fixed my brother-in-law's sink.
I'm looking at that that bandage on your knuckle, and I'm not feeling like it's not giving me confidence that you're like
sterilized, it's butterflied.
Super talented with your hands based on your ability.
I wasn't ready for the sharp knife. I admit it, but I won't make that mistake again. I won't.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying that I think that was part of his psychology of being able to come up with things on the fly, and the fact that they gave him razors. I mean, it's like they were telling him, the FBI was like, hey, please don't give him razors. All right.
And they did.
Please don't do this. And they still did it. It's just.
Well, it was sad that he took his secrets to his grave. But really interesting, the 12 skulls.
I wanted you to look at one when you get a chance. Google.
I'll Google that. Israel Keyes 12 skulls.
Yeah, because there's like, remember how he kind of disavowed Satan, but then one of those skulls was like a goat with the horns.
Wow.
And it had that, I don't know if it was a goat, but it was something, it looked like it was some kind of satanic thing.
Like Baphomet, kind of the figure of
Baphomet. I
think
he actually even said that. Yeah, I think he wrote that in blood or something like that. I don't know. Wow. Who is that? What is that?
Baphomet is well, listen, Satanism, and as I've gone over in a lot of my own stuff, has gotten a really, really bad rap. And if you talk to Ken Lanning, the FBI guy, he actually doesn't believe it at all. He goes, and he was assigned the satanic ritual abuse unit at Quantico. And he goes, in all of his years, there were hardly any that rose to the level of actual satanic ritual abuse. He goes, because think about it. it was a satanic murder. So does that mean, like, why is it only murder? Is there satanic bank robbery? Is there satanic rape? Is there satanic business fraud? He goes, is there Christian murder? Is there Muslim murder? You know, like, where it's ritualistic like that. You know, it just seems to be that for whatever reason, the satanic kind of label is the boogeyman out there, you know, that scares the shit out of people. He said, so it's really difficult to kind of pin satanic murder or satanic kind of ritual abuse like on something, because it could be a lot of different things.
Then why did he do that in the end? If he disavowed it in those interviews, or was he just bullshitting?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. The 12 skulls is interesting. We are one that he had 11 victims, and he's the 12th victim of his own hand. I think that's probably right. But no, I'll look into it some more, and I want to look at those skulls. But look, end of the day, fucking whack job, born that way, knew it from the beginning.
Yeah,
everybody missed it, you know, and tragic and got what he deserved. I just wish that, you know, that the government had done it, to be honest, and that, you know, victims' families could have had their say. And it's just one of those things. It's really sad, but great two-parter, really great two-parter. Enjoyed it. What do you got coming up?
Well, I'll have to keep you guessing.
All right. Well, that will do it, Nation, for another bonus episode. If you enjoyed it, head on over to Apple and rate and review us, please. Maybe consider sharing with your friends. It really helps us out a lot. And please consider supporting the great companies that support our show. Without them, we couldn't do it. For Criminal Mischief, I'm Branden. Carolyn, anything you want to add?
Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody. Stay safe out there.
Bye.